Oh, like I said, para la chusma. What? Somebody gave me a thumbs down on this already? I'm looking at the YouTube live. Somebody gave me a thumbs down and a thumbs up. What up, Molinan? How you guys doing? It's another edition of ThursDIAZ. It is raining in Southern California. It is pouring. I'm in the Bektemir studios in the garage. Roberto Diaz joins us. Coach Diaz is going to be in Turkey. A lot of stuff going on. Let's just get going to it. Bobby, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. You know what? We're very spoiled in California. For everybody that's listening across the country, across the world, wherever you're at, we're spoiled in California. 50, 60 degrees, and we want to get out sweaters and scarves and beanies. And I'm cold. I got the heater going full blast, but I do not like the cold here.
No, you do not. So let's get going before Coach joins us in. It is going to be pretty cool. So Coach Diaz is in Turkey with Avni, the Turkish mafia. Let's see, it's 8:30 when we're starting the show, so it's 7:30 Turkey time. They're actually on their run, so he'll join us when it's available, and then get the lowdown on what's going on as we get ready for Thursday. But before we go on, Robert, let me just say this right now. I have a chance to say thank you to everybody that helps support the show, everybody that watches us right now. Of course, Alahir Gonzalez, who I'm going to hook him up with a new golf club. Ruben Polanco. My man, always supporting us. Ruben, we got to play. I need some cigars. Roberto actually needs some cigars. Underground Kangs, appreciate you as always. And then Daniel and Lupe Ochoa. I don't know you. I've never met you. I've never interacted with you, but you support us so much.
Yeah.
Blythe, California, Tomateros de Culiacan fans, Cowboy fan, Dodger fan, all that other stuff. And anytime I post about the show, you guys do so much to help support us. And I went back and looked at some of the numbers last week and the analytics that I get for the podcast. Every single week continues to grow. Emilio G69, un abrazo, bro. Thank you so much. Sam Contreras, Eastern Elite, the Green Eye Bandit, everybody that just goes and creates this community. I wanted to make sure to give you guys a shout out because
definitely without them, I mean, it's nothing.
And Robert, you can attest to this because people go and tweet athletes, but only in boxing do you actually get to the people in charge. Like, you can't tweet the general manager of the Dodgers and he's going to respond to you. Here, you can tweet Oscar and he's going to respond to you sometimes. You go to Roberto Diaz, matchmaker, Robert, this fight will be here. You can actually have an interaction and conversation with them. And lately you've been doing your list and going back and forth with fans has been so cool. That's why I love working in boxing, love doing this show, because the fans, and I know Mr. Boxing Guru is going to get mad because I always say the fans, you don't need them for the big money because the people who buy a $10 ticket, well, look, you see how business is. When they give you $1 billion rights fees, like the Yankees and the Dodgers, that's where the money's come from. But the fans are the lifeline and the blood of what goes on. And it's the passion that they have for boxing, Robert. I love it more and more and more, especially doing this show.
And remember, we all started as fans. In boxing, everybody was a fan at one point. Some of them were fortunate to move into positions and stuff. But at the end of the day, we have to be fans of what we're doing in order to continue doing it. I got to say a shout out to Hector. Hector, I saw the poster. Dude, XR, I saw the poster about 30 minutes ago. I was blown away. That's the idea I've been talking to Nacimiento about. Beautiful. Everybody else will see it probably tomorrow morning. But Hector, badass. Keep it up.
Hexar, he's awesome. A great graphic designer in the Coachella Valley. He's also there. And I don't know why. Well, actually, I don't even know who he works for. I just know he's really, really talented. He's like fantastic. But what's the poster that you're talking about? You can't show us, but who? What?
He made a beautiful poster between, let's just say, two countries that are colliding very soon with some of the biggest names in their countries representing sports. And I was excited when I saw it. When you're talking about Pelé, one of the greatest soccer players that ever lived, and Diego Armando Maradona, who just passed, another great soccer player, and basically apadrinando this battle between countries, and it's beautiful. I can't wait till people see it tomorrow and share in how I felt when I saw it.
Oh, that's awesome. That Brazil, Argentina, that'll be cool, man. Hexar is freelance. Well, Hector, since you're freelance, why don't you make some ThursDIAZ logo? Why don't you make all kinds of good stuff for us? And of course, since you're freelance, you understand the world when they don't pay you, because we don't pay for this stuff. So you know that world. Invoice me, I'll get it back to you. Imagine that workshop, my man. I got the Tumblr going on. Appreciate you coming through, Alan Zamora, Jason in Dallas. What's going on? So, all right, let's get going. Chew your beer. Oh, my man, chew your beer. This guy is cool. Boxing fan. He actually sent me a box of beer a couple months ago from the Valley 818. Good dude. He doesn't finish the podcast because he falls asleep and then he catches up on it the next day. But as many people do, because it's always supposed to be an hour show, then it ends up being 2 hours or whatever it is. I have fun with it. And as always, rate, review, subscribe on the actual iTunes page. I'm doing all the commercials right now because once we get going, I ain't stopping. Because on the iTunes page, you can leave a comment. I need you guys to go and leave a comment. And there you're going to see it's ThursDIAZ. It's on iTunes, Spotify. Every single episode is there. Just type in ThursDIAZ. There was a comment from Pimp Delmo. I love this show and everyone that participates in the show. Toño needs more love. Nope. I wake up Friday mornings and drink my coffee and listen to the show at work. Pura plática, no mamadas. There you go. See, what other podcast can you say pura plática, no mamadas to Pimp Delmo, who left a comment on Friday. So leave the comments on iTunes, the reviews, all that good stuff, just to see that all the work that I stay up late on Thursday night doing is for you guys. All right, let's get going. Golden Boy has some news. Roberto Diaz, as the matchmaker at Golden Boy, let's work backwards. March 20th, that Virgil Ortiz fights Maurice Hooker in Dallas, Texas, and the floor is yours, Bobby, and go!
Look, what a better way for Virgil to come back this year and fighting at home once again. Not only fighting at home, but fighting his toughest match to date, a former world champion and a neighbor from Dallas. So it's the Battle of Texas. It's a civil battle. It's gonna get down. I mean, obviously Maurice Hooker, a true fighter, because he could have said, I need a couple drinks, I need a couple tune-ups before this big fight. And you know what? One of those that, obviously a former champion, he knows a win over Virgil can get him right back into title position. And obviously Virgil knows he's been going on a fast track. This is the type of fights that Virgil wants, the real fights, the big fights. He has to get through Hooker with flying colors like he's done in the past and look on to bigger and better things. So we're very excited. A stacked undercard with a lot of local talent. Cenicia Estrada from East LA, fighting for another world title against Anabel Ortiz, who, for those that are not familiar, look her up, do yourselves a favor. She is the world champion. She's defended the title multiple times. I mean, she's held it for several years. With no promoter, she's gone to other countries and fought and won. So this is a real fight. And it's going to be a very good fight. We got the U.S. debut of our heavyweight, 11-0, 11 knockouts. This guy's a bad boy. U.S. debut also of Luis Hernandez, El Matador from Chihuahua.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's coming over. I mean, we've seen him on Facebook a few times. Very aggressive.
I like him.
Very good. I think Texas is really going to open up. I mean, he's from across the border from, so it's going to be somebody that maybe Texas will adopt. Hector Valdez. Hey, crunch time is going in his toughest fight against another Golden Boy fighter in Oscar Acevedo, undefeated.
Oh.
So it's gonna be a fun card, stacked card. We got some George Rincon's back in the ring, from Dallas. So it's gonna be a lot of local talent and some very, very good important fights.
That's a real good card coming up. Stacked from the bottom of the top. Crunch Time Wilkins, I like him. He watches the show sometimes. The Hector Valdez kid, is that the same kid that's friends with Virgil Ortiz? Right? They grew up together?
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw him. He fought at Fantasy Springs.
He fought at Fantasy. I believe it was under Virgil's fight.
Yes.
With Diaz, and then he fought when Virgil fought Orozco. That was the first time I saw him against another undefeated kid, and they went to war. That was one of those fights that it was like, man, that should have been one of the main events of Thursday Night Series, or at least got some TV, because it was such a good fight between two undefeated kids. And that's when I first saw Hector. I had heard of him, but that's when I first really saw him in a fight. It showed a lot of character, a lot of composure. The kid has a lot of skill, and we're looking forward to many more fights with him and growing him into a world champion.
Yeah, that'll be a real good one. I like that kid. Actually, here's a question. Speaking of Texas, any word on Hector Tanajara or Josh Franco? They're from San Antonio.
Yeah, so Josh Franco, we're waiting. Obviously, there's an option, one more fight due. Maloney, the WBA ordered it. There's no doubt, obviously Josh wants to clear it up and show the world and who's the champion. So we're just waiting on the date to finalize that one. Hector Tanajara is in a very, very good, interesting fight. It recently was announced against former world champion Alberto Machado. And
no, that was not announced. When did you announce that?
No, it was recently. Fight City is going to put it on in Puerto Rico. They have the dates coming out. They're awesome fight coming up. Yeah.
No way. So the Fight City, the Ring City.
Ring City. I'm sorry, Ring City. My bad. I apologize.
Yeah, Ring City, the one that they were doing at the Wild Card on NBC Sports Network with Kenny Albert on the call. He does an excellent job on the broadcast, and that's a good show. I like that with Kurin Bata on there, and but that Ring City episode. So they're going to go to Puerto Rico with it. Good.
They're going to Puerto Rico. They have like 2 or 3 dates out there, back to back, and it's going to be real fun. And they have some real good fights. I'll let them announce. Obviously, it's their shows.
But we do it here on ThursDIAZ.
We've been working closely with, obviously they've had William Cepeda on. They've had Eduardo Baez on. Now Machado and Tanajara. Daniel Zorrilla is going to be on.
Oh, I like him.
Ruslan Madiev is going to be on. I mean, there's a bunch of fighters. Leonardo Baez is going to be on. So it's going to be fun. The summer should, God willing, there should be some good fights and fights for the fans to enjoy.
Stuff coming up. All right. Now, February 13th, as we're getting working backwards here, February 13th, Joseph Diaz Jr. defends his belt live on DAZN. And JoJo, by the way, now doing commercials for Garden Grove Nissan. I saw that today. I was like, the kid who was really quiet and shy is now doing commercials for Garden Grove Nissan. Not a plug. I just saw it today on his Instagram. I'm like, good for him, man. Take advantage of that. You got to do it. It's like when Rocky was doing those commercials after he won. And he's like, I can't do this. And they're putting makeup on him. But JoJo's better than that. Anyways, on that card, Jason Quigley was supposed to be on. He's no longer on. Actually, we did a interview with Golden Boys Digital Squad with him, and Jason was sounding really excited. Said he was a couple days away from coming to the United States, but things happened. He's not going to be on the card. What's the update on that?
Yeah, you know what? It's something tough to swallow. Obviously, it's a fight that everybody involved was very well, looking forward to it. The fans, when they heard about the announcement, I saw a lot of the talk, and the reaction was like, wow, this is a good fight, media as well. I spoke to Jason. He's heartbroken. It's part of life. It's part of boxing. It's part of what we're going through at this moment. It's tough to swallow, but he's fine. He, like you said, he was very energized, looking forward to the fight. Spoke to him a couple days ago. He was very close to weight, full of energy, excited. But, things happen, and for now, we'll wait and hopefully reprogram it. Shane Mosley Jr. does have an opponent. He will be fighting on the card. Contracts were signed today with Christian Olivos. So he will be fighting and staying ready. You know what? Hopefully, in the next few months, we can get that fight ready to go again, Quigley against Mosley, and show the fans a very, very exciting fight.
Well, we are the official Beck the Bully show of record. Nobody here has ever been to Uzbekistan or can understand what he's saying, but we've all become fans of Beck the Bully. Any update on who he might be fighting?
Yes, he's fighting. We're pretty much done Hopefully tomorrow contracts will sign, commission approved. He'll be doing. It's very tough at this point. This is so the fans can hear. He was going to fight Kovalev. He was going to be in the main event. He was fighting a former world champion, 10 pounds above him, in his backyard originally in Russia. Things changed. The fight got canceled. Now I got 2 weeks, 3 weeks to find a replacement opponent. Made a lot of calls, made a lot of offers. Nobody's really lining up to fight Beck unless you put a check and just sign it and let them fill it out. That's where Beck is. And we got to remember, at the end of the day, he's 6-0. But because a lot of the fighters there heard, wait a minute, this guy was willing to fight Kovalev in his backyard and give up 10 pounds. I really haven't seen too much footage of him, but he must be the real deal and not just talk. So on the other side, when I'm trying to send out contracts or make offers, I was politely rejected by saying, I'll fight him if you pay this much. I'm not going to say numbers or who said it, but when you overprice yourself, it's a polite way of saying I'm not interested without saying I'm not interested or I don't want to fight him. I had a couple other fighters tell me, you know what, I need 8 to 9 weeks to prepare. I'm in training now, but not for that level fight. So fortunately, we got somebody that'll take the fight. The commission approved for 8 rounds. And you know what? At the end of the day, my job was to get Beck in there. He spent 2 months in training, away from his family, in camp, the holidays, getting ready for the biggest fight of his life. And now hopefully, it's a fight. Obviously, when they get in the ring, it's a fight. But I need to keep him motivated so he doesn't feel like, a letdown that he's not fighting Kovalev now. It's going to be hard to find somebody of that level.
What's also hard for him is he's training and training and training and then sacrificing, and it's like, okay, there's no fight. Like that mental aspect of him, even though he's a trained assassin from where he's from, literally he's in the special unit, but fighters need a fight, right? You can only train so much.
Especially a fighter like Beck, who's on a fast track, but his training is get him in the gym, get him in the fight. Right after the fight, get him in the gym, get him in the fight. That's, he lived, he had so many amateur fights. He needs to get that energy in a fight and go back in there and get ready for the next one because he is on a fast track and a lot of times his fights last a couple rounds only.
Yeah, okay, so that's what's going on. So a lot of stuff. There's the Golden Boy update from matchmaker Roberto Diaz. Now, if you subscribe to The Athletic, there was an interesting story today in the boxing section about what it takes to be a matchmaker. A real good story out there. And I started reading some of it as I was getting ready for the show. Then I realized I got a bunch of other stuff to do, so I didn't finish it. But it was pretty cool to give it perspective of what it's like behind the scenes. So right now, we are going to play Ask the Matchmaker. Now, if you're on the live right now, don't ask, hey, can you make this fight against that fight? Because you're kind of limited on what Roberto can say because contracts and stuff that can be used. And, we're so popular, people are going to take our show and they're going to use it for them. But ask the matchmaker. No question is dumb. If you feel like you could be a better matchmaker, let us know why. But this is your chance to go straight to the source. Ask the Matchmaker with Roberto Diaz, and we'll talk about it. So it was really interesting, the different perspectives of how it is. You're well respected at Golden Boy in the business. Bruce Trampler at Top Rank. Now, I want to Eric Gomez, who's another Golden Boy president, used to be a matchmaker at Golden Boy. So everybody improves on. But do you find mentors? Like, who taught you how to be a matchmaker?
In my particular case, I grew up watching boxing like most of the fans there, watching it as a little kid, and became very passionate, watching videos over and over and over. So one thing you learn as a fan, I'm not saying as a matchmaker, is first thing you learn and you hear and all that, styles make fights. Then you take it to that next notch and start saying, man, if I make that fight, you start remembering, wait a minute, styles make fights. Make sure you put the styles that will make the fight. When I started, obviously, I had a couple people that I went to when I had doubts or questions. Jimmy Montoya, one of the best matchmakers out there. I asked him several times. Don Chargan, obviously, we had a lot of love and a very close relationship with Don. Mr. Honda, at times I've gone to him and look, what do you think of this? Because you feel when you're stuck in these situations that you think the world's falling apart, you're in a hole. I'm never going to get out of this one because this only happens to me. No. When you hear it from them saying, oh, let me tell you about my situation that's similar to yours, and you hear everything that happened a long time ago, and he's detailing it like what's happening to you, you're thinking, oh, so this has happened before. And yet the show got done, or the fighter's career kept going, or your career could go. So you learn with time that there's certain obstacles. And that's why I compare a lot to the fans. I tell them, life is like a boxing match. There's going to be good days. There's going to be bad days. Just like there's a good round or a bad round. And things like that make you get through life. You know what? I'm going to wake up this morning and I'm going to go out run. I'm going to take on the world. Okay, that's this round coming up. I'm coming with everything. And that's the attitude. I got dropped. Oh, shit. I got to get up. I can't just stay here or I get counted out. So that's the mentality you start picking up. But those are a couple of the names. Mr. Honda from Japan. Every once in a while, I still call him to talk about, hey, I'm stuck in this situation. And I've always looked up to him. I mean, look, he's a Hall of Famer. Don Chargan, may you rest in peace, one of the greatest. And Jimmy Montoya. Jimmy Montoya had a huge stable. He was the matchmaker. He was the trainer. He was a manager. You talk about some of the big names in the 70s and 80s. And even to recently, he was training Joe Calzaghe. So, one of the top guys in boxing. And I have a great relationship. Look, with matchmakers, you might not talk to each other because whatever, your promoter's not working with that promoter, or promotional-wise, you're not. But when you see each other, there's a genuine respect between a matchmaker and any other matchmaker. You might not like him. He might not like you. But there's a mutual respect because in the industry, the matchmakers know what we go through. I mean, there's sleepless nights, there's broken phones, there's fights, arguments, everything you can think of, anxiety attacks. Luckily, knock on wood, probably one of the few. And again, I say knock on wood because it's not over. A lot of times they get heart attacks because the job is that stressful.
Wow. Right now, joining us from Turkey. Is he there? Did I assign him?
I'm right here. Yeah.
Okay, all right. You can see it right here. Let me see here. Oh, there it is. From Turkey, Coach Joel Diaz just got done running with Turkish Mafia. Thanks a lot, Coach. It's, 7:53 in the morning. We appreciate you joining us. Coach, did you run with him?
Yeah.
So you don't need water? You don't need nothing? You're good?
No. Wait a minute. Coach has always had his beer or tequila when he's on the show. I want his beer or tequila with something in his hand right now. It's 7 in the morning. Coach, where's your tequila?
Oh, man. And don't worry, Coach joins. I didn't think he was going to join us this soon. I told him, take 20 minutes, change, relax. You'll be all right.
It can look like tequila. So
hey, why does he have a poster of Antonio over his headboard? There's a poster of Antonio over his headboard.
Oh, where's he at? Let's see here. There he is. Coach all by himself. Turkey right there. Turkish Mafia. So we got it. Coach, right now we had just started the show. We were doing Ask the Matchmaker, where we gave people a chance to ask Roberto Diaz questions for it. And we're going to have, I want you to hear this one. From that good friend, Ace of SoCal. Roberto, you can see the question. What will be some of your top of the list Golden Boy versus top rank fights that you would love to make?
Top rank?
That's a very good question. I would love my first one right off the bat. Beck the Bully against Berlanga, baby. Joshua Franco against Maloney. Oh, we are doing that. Number 3. That's right.
All right.
Jorge Linares against Verdejo.
Oof.
A very true crossroad fight. Hey,
Virgil Ortiz and Jose Ramirez.
You're gonna break their heart over there at the manager in the gym and everything. No. Virgil Ortiz against somebody that nobody wants to fight out there in the welterweight division.
Terrence Crawford.
Exactly. But first, Maurice Hooker. No, we got to get through Maurice Hooker. Otherwise, there's nothing else.
Wow. All right.
There's good fights that I think could be made between both promoters. I mean, they have some of the best fighters in the world, and we have some of the best fighters in the world. And at the end of the day, if we mix and match, boxing wins and fans win.
Yeah, Oscar was there at with Bob Arum today. He and Eric Gomez posted the picture. I'm not going to ask why because that's none of my business, but they said that.
Imagine Jojo Diaz, and again, he has to beat his mandatory, Rakhimov, the winner of Jojo and Rakhimov against the winner of Berchelt and Valdez. Unifying.
It was all.
That's another great fight.
There you go. All right, Sonteo Media, for you, Roberto, and Coach, you can add to this. Please share a story of when a fighter or a team bailed you out of a hole that you didn't think you could get out of. Sometimes you have a deadline that you got to meet, and you have to get a substitute fighter one call away.
First name that comes to my mind, because it wasn't once, he did it probably 3 times. You establish a relationship with some of these fighters. The opponents, I mean, obviously the ones you have signed to the company, you know them, they know you. Yep. But it's hard to establish a relationship, a trust, a real friendship with opponents. Who at times you need these fighters that are called the club fighter, the crossroad fighter. You need them. That's how boxing survives always. You always need these fighters that are willing to take fights on a phone call notice. Humberto Tapia from Tijuana. I must have called him 2 or 3 times on late notice, telling him, hey, I really need you. Are you on weight? He was always close to weight. Yes, no problem. When's the fight? Tonight, tomorrow night. The weigh-in's in the morning, or the weigh-in was the next morning, and then the fight obviously the following day. No problem. Where do I go? Give me my ticket. Give me my, if it's Fantasy Springs, I'll drive right now. David Rodela was another one. Oh, yeah. David Rodela, I would call him on short notice, and he would take the fight. I would tell him after the fight, hey, David, ya estuvo, man. It's time to retire, bro. Because, I got real close to him. I said, thanks, you bailed me out, but no more. And he would tell me, okay, then. But can you stop calling me? Hey, if you stop calling me, I won't come in on short notice. And I said, you got a point. You got a point. And but those are fighters that bail you out. Hector Velasquez, I remember losing an opponent for one of our guys. I don't remember who it was right now, but I lost the opponent. I called him at 10 o'clock at night.
Come on.
Diego Morales. I actually called him Compadre Diego, and I said, hey, can you check on Hector Velasquez's weight? And he says, I got to go get a scale, and then I got to go to Hector's house. And at 12:30 at night, they called me and said, hey, he can make the weight. I just weighed him, look, video and everything. And I said, Hector, can you come to Fantasy Springs right now? The weigh-in was the next morning. And he said, not right now, I'm tired. But I'll get up at 4 in the morning. It was 1 o'clock. He says, I'll get up at 4 in the morning. I'll drive out there. And you know what? I'll be there for the weigh-in. And sure enough, obviously he's a veteran of 60, 75 fights. I mean, he fought everybody you can think of way back in the day, Robbie Peden and everything. But un veterano that you can count on. He wasn't a young kid that, sí, boy, and then I overslept. Nah, forget it, I'm not going. He showed up, made weight, and fought. I mean, he got beat, he got stopped. I forget. I think he fought Keandre Gibson. But,
what's his name again? Hector.
I'm sorry. Hector
Velasquez.
Okay.
Yeah, he might have fought Antonio. He might have fought Julio. I mean, the guy fought everybody you could think of. That guy's been around for years, and I think he finally retired. But it was those guys. Obviously, money, everything. It's a motivator. But these guys, because they knew you, because they had that relationship with you, wouldn't doubt it. Sometimes if you don't know.
Okay, hold on. I know who this guy is now, Hector Velasquez. You told me about him. He actually fought last year. He's 45 years old. He fought last year against Marvin Cordova. The kid is 22, 2-1. Your boy Hector Velasquez, 56, 31-3. The reason I remember him, he's fought Marvin Cabrera, and he got stopped by him. That was a Mexican Olympian at Fantasy Springs on the Cano Marcelino Lopez card. And I remember you telling me, I'm like, Robbie, what's going on here? You said, this guy is tough. Don't let him fool you. He's not going to win, but he's tough. He's the kind of guys that we need. And he got stopped in the fourth. But before that, he fought Mauricio Herrera. Keandre Gibson in 2016. He got stopped in the sixth round. Antonio, but he just showed up.
That's the one that at 12:30 at night, they were weighing him to see if he
Yes! Yeah! I remember. Quigley fought that night. Marco Magdaleno fought, big dog that you guys had, coach. Antonio Roscoe fought. I know this guy, and he's just tougher than the $2 steak, like they always say, right? He fought Regis Prograis, Tito Manzanares, Paul Spadafora, Thomas Delorme. He fought Linares, Mahanri Montes. Jeez, Edwin Valero. Like he even fought a guy with the same name as him.
Hector Velasquez?
Yeah, he fought Hector Velasquez. This fight was in Gimnasio in Tepic, Nayarit. He fought a guy with the same name as him. Like,
so you know Hector won that night.
He fought. This guy fought Manny Pacquiao and Bobby Pacquiao.
Yeah. I think he beat Bobby, and that's why he got the fight with Manny. Yeah.
He fought Rocky Juarez, Guti Espadas, Orlando Soto. When did this guy turn pro? Israel Vasquez? Kevin Kelly?
You just reminded me of a very good one. I didn't have an opponent for Yorkis Gamboa.
Bobby, he turned pro in 1993, this guy.
He was a very good fighter. He was a very good fighter. Obviously, stage, he wasn't fighting in his weight class.
Yeah, of course.
He's fighting young prospects and bigger. But
wow,
I was looking for an opponent for Yorkis Gamboa. We had about 2 weeks, 3 weeks to go. And I'm like, man, nobody wants to fight Gamboa. It was ESPN prior to a big night. Abraham fought Jesus Rojas, I think, the co-main event. Abraham Lopez, coach, I think you were there that night. And I didn't have a big budget for the opponent of Gamboa. And I called Robinson Castellanos. And
Robin Hood.
I got a great opportunity for you guys. I think it's a very winnable fight for your style. Robinson, if everybody remembers him, had fucking piedras in his hands. The guy could hurt you. And I think it's a big opportunity. Again, there's not a lot of money. And again, I'm not going to talk money, but he took the fight. He stopped Gamboa. Actually, Gamboa went to the hospital that day. Vision issues and everything. Robinson, again, did not make a lot of money in that fight, but his very next fight fought for the world title and got paid. And actually, in the eyes of many, should have won the world title that night, but didn't. But, I mean, the story goes that he took the fight on 2 weeks' notice against a two-time Olympian and came out on top.
Yeah, MGM Grand, Friday night. And I wasn't working that one, but I remember standing there. Ace of SoCal was with us, and because we got to know Robinson Castellanos because when he beat Ronnie Rios, he stopped him. And that's when we were doing the Fox show. So Jessica Rosales and I got to know him, and he's from Guanajuato, just the nicest man. And we're like, okay, we'll stay and watch this fight. And Ace of SoCal was with us. And I think we might have been the only ones who knew Robinson Castellanos was because Gamboa was not supposed to get stopped. I didn't know he was a last-minute replacement. That's fantastic for him. Changed his life, changed his career. Jesus Rojas and Abraham Lopez, Yamaguchi Falcao, Carlos Morales was on the card. Oscar Negrete went the distance for that. Yeah, that's what we were mad because Negrete's fight took forever. So we were like, man, we gotta go, man, because he went the distance. So I was like, come on, Negrete, because we were already loaded. So I was like, let's just get going. And Jessica Rosales was like, no, we gotta wait for Robinson, Robin Hood, all this stuff. Like, oh, okay, all right, why not? And I'm over here thinking Gamboa's stop him, we'll be out of here. And sure enough, once that changed for him. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I can imagine these guys and what you have to go through to get it. So good questions on there. All right. We'll get back to the ask. Let's see. Do we have another one for Roberto? Because I just led to a tire. This is what happens on ThursDIAZ. You start drinking, because I got wine tonight on my tumbler.
Hey,
And then,
Alan Zamora, he put, a la verga, he fought Freddie Roach too. I'm telling you, hey, Hector fought everybody. I'm telling you, he might have fought Antonio, Julio, and Joel.
but he probably fought it in a different name.
I remember Hector Velasquez when Tim Bradley fought in Mississippi, in Biloxi, Mississippi. He was out there. He fought that night. I ran into him at the airport, and we were there talking. And he goes, "Man," he goes, "Ya estoy cansado, pero me gusta este pedo. That's why I keep doing it." You know?
And that was like 15 years later. He still kept fighting. Imagine.
Yeah, that was after Katrina, because I remember we had to.
Who did Tim fight?
Tim fought Edner Cherry, I think.
Okay, let me look that up.
That card.
In 2008. 2008 happened at the Beau Rivage Resort and Casino, Biloxi, Mississippi,
right
on Showtime. Okay. Hector Velasquez, he went the distance against Helio Rojas.
See, I told you. He was there.
Wait. Who is this guy?
Hector Rojas, I think, was a world champion at featherweight that Don King had for a while. So he always got the best of the best at the time.
We got to get this guy on the show. Helio Rojas was 19-1. Hector Velasquez was 50, 11-2. Like, who is this guy? That's why I love doing this show right here.
No, and you know what? Hector Velasquez was a great guy. I mean, hardly spoke. He's always quiet. But once you get him going, he's funny. You know, he's funny. But you know, he was a great guy. I still remember. I saw him not so long ago. But great fighter, man. He fought, like you said, everybody, even Freddie Roach.
Wait, hold on. Okay. Joel Diaz Jr. says he fought under a different Social Security when they made him retire. See, I don't know if it's true or not, but I could believe it.
You know, Junior does the insurance forms for the fighters, so he must know something.
He probably used the other Hector Velasquez guy. The guy he beat, he probably used his name. Oh, man. All right, let's get going. Coach, you are in Turkey training Avni. How do you say his last name?
Avni.
Avni. The Turkish Mafia. You are, let me put it up. I even went and spelt this. Where you at, Coach, by yourself, Coach Solo. You are in Gloria Sports Arena in Belek, Antalya, Turkey. Coach, I even did a lot of work on this. So people are going to be like, where's he at? Where's he at? Hold on. Don't go anywhere, people. Let me show you this. I even got, boom, a map for you guys. That's where Coach is at right now. See? ThursDIAZ. We don't mess around, Coach.
Hey, Coach, don't go out running too far, because next thing you know, you're in Syria or Iraq. Run in a circle.
Look.
Don't go too straight.
Look, guys. I don't know if you guys can see from.
Oh, wow.
Look.
So that's where you're at.
How's the weather? Cold?
It's cold, like in the 30s, but it's sunny. Yesterday we got some sun, but every day was rainy and cloudy. It was a little depressing, but this facility has everything. This facility here it's a resort. Here, this is a resort where they have everything. They have a trail in the premises. They have a trail. They have a track. They have everything you can possibly think of. They have it. They have indoor Olympic pools, outside pools, diving pools. They have soccer, indoor, outdoor. They have everything, and then they have a restaurant downstairs. But this is only for high-end athletes here. I mean, everybody that's staying here.
Like the Olympic team trains there.
Yeah.
And
Right now they got a couple of soccer teams, basketball teams, swimming teams, but it's great, man.
Yeah, and your son Junior's with you.
He's sparring there with like bears, no?
Yeah. No.
I'm serious. He has to spar like big old grizzly bears.
No, that's Beck. Beck does that.
Oh yeah, Beck the bully kicked him.
Yeah, as Junior says, it's the Turkish Olympic Training Center. If you guys want to, you can Google the name of it, and it's pretty interesting. I went and checked it out. What it is, Gloria Sports Arena in Belek, Antalya, Turkey. And Coach actually made, I told you guys he was going to make the Turkey newspaper. He did last week. My friend Barbaros put him up. That's exactly where he's at right there. It's on the ocean and the water. So you're wondering where ThursDIAZ takes you. We've been in a garage. We've been at Chapo's house, right? That's where you were.
Chapo's house.
Not Chapo, Caro Quintero.
Oh, you're right.
Caro Quintero,
So we're at
Caro Quintero's house.
Caro Quintero's house. We've been in Cancun. We've been in Coachella. We've been in COVID. We've been in Mexico. And now we are in Turkey. Now, if this isn't the official...
Midnight Express. Coach, watch the movie before you come back, please. No Midnight
Which one?
Express. Midnight Express.
Okay.
It was from Turkey. No,
Yes.
Istanbul. Yeah, great movie.
So,
It's a classic.
yeah, so imagine that workshop. We need you to have a ThursDIAZ logo made with underneath, it says worldwide. ThursDIAZ worldwide. Hexar, get on it. ThursDIAZ worldwide. All kinds of cool things. I know, Coach, you're out there. So how long are you going to be out there before you come back?
Well, the reason of me being here is due to visa issues. You know, when he started training, actually, he was in Germany. He was in Germany training, and we were basically in contact, telling him what to do, you know, what to do during training, stay busy here and there, because I thought he was going to get back to California sooner. And all of a sudden, it's like, hey, Coach, you need to come over here. I said, I can't. I'm sorry right now. We got a fight. Beck is fighting Kovalev. So since that didn't happen, then I said, hey, I mean, this guy, this is what he did. And I'm going to tell you guys, I mean, straight up. He texted me one day, because I was always in contact with his manager. And one day he texted me, he goes, Coach, I've been telling my manager, I need you here. And I said, Avni, I can't make it right now. He goes, okay, if you're not here, I don't fight.
Come on.
Yeah, he says, if you're not here, I'm not fighting. And he says, I don't want no other coach. If it's not you, I don't fight. I said, wow. And then
That's when the checkbook went like this.
Whoa. Hey, and look, and this happened all of a sudden like this. This happened like, boom. As soon as they said, oh, Beck is not fighting, and this guy is like, and one day, I called him I FaceTime his manager, and he's telling me, hey, Coach, I'm having problems with this guy. Maybe you can talk to him. And I said, what's going on, Avni? I want you to keep training. You're doing great. I'm watching you doing great. Pretty soon you're going to be back. He goes, no. He goes, I'm tired. I don't want to do it. If you're not here, I'm done.
Wow.
I said, no, wait. So then a day later, I think it was a day later, 2 days later, when they said Beck is no longer fighting, I called him back. I said, hey, you know what, Ahmed, get me over there. How soon can you get me over there? He goes, I can get you in tomorrow.
Whew.
And that was Thursday. And I said, tomorrow's Friday. I said, can I leave Sunday? And then he goes, okay, Coach, I'll book you flight for Sunday. But then he called me back. He goes, Coach, I was thinking if I fly you in on Sunday, you're going to be getting here on Tuesday. He goes, is it okay if I book your flight on Saturday? That way you'll be here on Monday. You rest Monday and start Tuesday. I said, okay, let's do it. But then I'm like, I don't want to go by myself. You know, it's a lot of travel, you know. So then I sort of glanced to my son and I go, you want to go with me? And he goes, serious? I go, do you want to go? He goes, well, if I can, I don't mind. You sure? I go, is it okay? I mean, your work and stuff. He goes, I don't think it should be an issue. I work right now. I'm working out of my okay. So I called him back. I go, hey, you know what? Book a flight for me and my son, and we'll leave Saturday. So then, 5 minutes later, boom, he sends me my itinerary.
On?
6 o'clock on Saturday. So I forwarded to my son, and he was just responded, are you serious? This is serious? I go, yeah, this is serious. So we traveled 13 hours. We went from LA to Istanbul. It was a 13-hour flight. We had an 8-hour layover in Istanbul. I mean, beautiful airport. And we're there wandering around. There's no people. Maybe you see 1 or 2 people in the entire airport. We landed there at night. And our next flight was at 2 a.m. from Istanbul to Antalya. And we got to our hotel at 5 in the morning on Monday. So we went from there, and as soon as we got in, man, it was, I mean, very different, guys. Very, very different. It's another world, honestly. It's another world, and I mean, we're here to work. And like Avni says, you know what, Coach? If you were not here, I don't care. He says, I told my manager. He says, I told my manager that if you didn't come, I wasn't gonna fight. And he tells me straight out, he goes, Coach, I told my manager, it's not a money problem. I don't care about the money. I'm a people's champion. He goes, if you have to pay Coach $500,000, $1 million, pay him $1 million. But I want him here.
Well, then pay him. Pay him $1 million.
And you know what? That makes me really proud, honestly, because they haven't even worked a fight together. This is just from gym and the training that Avni must feel that connection and that confidence and trust in Coach, because it's all been what he's been with in the gym. They haven't even been in a fight. But why it makes me feel good, not only because of that, but I made the introduction, so that just shows when you put your faith in somebody, the other side, like, stamp of approval is something like this. I'm not gonna fight the biggest fight of my life, the biggest pay, unless Coach is here. That's very unique, and that speaks volumes of Coach.
That's
Not me.
And we'll see the picture of. Oh wait, hold on. That's not it. I don't want that. Where's that picture I found?
Hey, cabrón!
Hold on. What's going on? Oh, Avni. I'm sorry. I have the Turkish mafia.
We got here.
Well, you can't get closer. We can't hear him, Coach.
We can't hear him.
We can't hear you. What happened, Coach? Where'd you go?
Coach doesn't have headphones.
No, Coach. We can't hear you either, Coach.
I think he still has it plugged.
Oh, yeah. Take it out. Coach has to take the plug out. Just take it off. Hello?
Can you hear us, Coach? Coach.
No, he can't hear it now.
Can't hear you. We
You
can't
hear me,
you.
but we can't talk. What happened here? Okay, la. All right, here.
Technical difficulties.
No, what happened? Let's see here. We're here. You can hear me, right, Bobby?
You hear you perfect.
Yeah, you can hear us, but we can't hear you, Coach. Now we're all doing sign language here. All right, let me see here.
Juanito, you're the IT over there.
Let's see here. I'm gonna type in. Here. We can do it. We can't hear
you.
Let's see there. He can see that. We lost Coach. What happened there? Okay, here.
Come on, Juanito, ¿qué hiciste?
Come on. Let's see here. Here. Hang up and dial again. There we go. Let's see what happens. See, this is what happens when you do a live show. We are doing it. Boom. All right. You know what it was? I know what it was, Robbie.
Chusma sabotage.
Yeah. And you know who leads the Chusma? Toño. Toño is jealous. Toño is jealous because Junior got on the show. And he's like, oh, no. That's it. Because he's on the show, I'm going to sabotage it. So Toño messed it all up. I guarantee you that's exactly what happened. Let's see here. Coach?
What about that?
Can you hear?
Hey! That's it. You know what happened? We were saying it, Coach.
Welcome.
Toño was sabotaging us. Let me hang that up. All right, now we can hear him. Now we can talk. Got it.
I don't think he hears us.
No, he does. He got to be closer. There he is.
How are you?
Oh, good. How are you? What about you?
Good, man. Cold. Over here, very cold.
But Robert, don't forget me, please. Why
Never.
did you unfollow Instagram?
That's somebody else.
Why?
Hey, Roberto,
Not you.
You know what he told me yesterday? And tell him what you told me yesterday. That you were gonna thank Roberto because of him, you met who? Me. He goes, hey, I want to speak to Roberto, and I want to say thanks to him, because thanks to him, I met
Yeah.
you.
I love you so much. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the support.
Good.
Avni,
For my coach,
Good.
you know.
Good decision.
Yeah, thank you for everything. I feel it. Always I feel it. You know.
Good. Good.
I
All
think
the best.
like I
to you.
think like everything will be good because of you. You know.
Avni, how are you feeling? How is it working with Coach? How is it?
I feeling good. Everything is good. I think like everything will be good. But I know everything is possible with my coach. You know, his coach knows everything. I hope everything will be good.
Yeah. What about the other Diaz?
Nice training in Antalya now. But next week I think like
Next week.
we gonna in India for the sparring, and then we gonna it's a big fight. No.
Avni,
I believe in you, coach.
why? Let me ask you this. Why do you believe so much in Coach Diaz?
Coach, I don't know what. Because of Robert, you know.
Because Robert.
Because of Robert. Yeah, but Royal is the best in the world, you know. He's the best coach in the world, you know. He's the best. He's nice training. He's like my father, you know. He's like my father. Coach, he's like my father. He's my everything, you know. His energy. His last 2-3 weeks I don't have energy, you know. I tell you something. Last 2-3 weeks, last 1-2 months, I don't have energy. But my promoter, I told him is I want my coach, I want my everything, you know. And then coach come to Turkey. Now I feeling good. I feeling good energy. Every day 2 times good training. I think that now is everything will be good, you know.
And you,
That's
it's
good. Avni.
go ahead.
That's good, man. It's your big opportunity.
Thank you for
All the
support.
best.
Thank you for support, Robert. Thank you for support
Oh, no.
because of you. You know, I feel it. I feel it. Thank
We
you.
are
Thank you for
we are friends. We are friends many years.
But,
Many years,
you
Avni.
are- you are-
And you're always been good guy. Always been good
You
guy.
are the best. You are the
Thank
best.
you.
My heart always with you, Robert. My heart always
too.
with you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Avni, I know it's special, big opportunity to fight Canelo Alvarez. When you told you, hey, you fight Canelo, what did you think?
We will see, but everything is possible with my coach. Coach knows everything. I don't know anything.
But you feel with Coach, it feels special, doesn't it?
My coach, my father knows everything. We will see. We will see. I have a good plan. We have a good plan. Good plan. We have a nice plan. I think that is good. Everything will be good.
He's just ready to follow my plan.
Yeah.
He's ready to follow my plan
Yeah.
and follow my orders.
Yeah.
And like he says, Coach, you tell me what to do and I'll do it.
I got you, coach. I got you.
Coach, next week you guys come to India, right? That's the plan.
Yes, sir. Next week, yeah, everything is great. But right now, the thing is that with the visa, it was a whole different process. Avni was supposed to go to the council or somewhere here to an office and show up, but now his manager, what he did was he made everything work out so that I have an envelope here. I gotta take it downstairs. Now they're gonna send it in, and then everything's gonna come to the facility here. His visa's coming in, and he's pushing it to get it sooner, so that we can get back to India sooner.
Okay, we'll be seeing you soon. And Avi, when Coach says something about you, it's good, right? A big hug for you guys.
Again?
Tesekur.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for support. Thank you for everything.
There you go. All right, go rest. Get in the rest. Yeah, so Tesekur. Mahaba, fanatik.
Mahama Panatik.
Merhaba fanatik. Thank you for
Exactly.
support. Robert, I love you so much. Don't forget me.
Never. Thank you, Avni. Take care. See you soon.
There you go. That was a Turkish Mafia coming. I don't know if I was supposed to say Turkish Mafia, but I did. Oh, well. Hopefully they don't come get me.
No. Yesterday we were laughing because he starts laughing. We're in the elevator and he breaks down laughing. He goes, "Hey, coach, remember when I said Turkish Mafia?" I go, "Yeah, I still remember." He goes, "It's funny." And I try to remember the story, and he was like, "Was it at the gym?" I said, "No. We were in the car. And you told the two guys from Chile to get off and put the trash cans in the backyard. And I told, hey, you guys, it's been almost 5 days and the trash cans are still in the street. Get off." I go, "Get off and put those trash cans in the backyard." And then the guys jump out the guys jump out the back door, and then I look at Avni, and Avni's sitting like that with his seatbelt on. And I go, "Hey, you two, get your ass off the car and go." And he goes, "Coach, I am Turkish Mafia." He's over there.
He since we're here, I mean, he's fighting Canelo Alvarez because he's the mandatory. There's people saying, you know what? Why is Canelo even doing that? The announcement came out today that Canelo is planning to have Billy Joe Saunders fight in May. But he's the mandatory. He's there. He's gonna have the fight. He knows he's the underdog. He knows it's but it's his biggest shot possible for him. And I don't know anything about this guy, just besides his box rec and what he has on Instagram. I know he's super famous in Turkey, but there's something that seems genuine about him. I'm getting text messages right now. I haven't looked at them, but I have like 8 different text messages from people, and the comments here on from the people watching ThursDIAZ. He just seems like he's appreciating every single moment of what's going on.
Well, I mean,
he's an animal.
Coach
He's a
has
beast.
been with him.
Go ahead, Roberto.
I want to obviously coach closes on him because you know what, he's known him now. They built a trust. There's a chemistry. You can see it, you can hear it, you can feel it. I've known the kid for a few years. I was going to work with him. He just didn't have somebody to teach him. He's always had the will, because otherwise he wouldn't have got to where he's at already. He's strong. I've seen him, people I've been reading, he's Canelo's sparring partner. No. He was in one camp with Canelo, obviously to get him ready for Triple G because of the size, the strength, the style. And, people are, criticizing. He is the mandatory. Triple G just had a mandatory against somebody that was unknown. When you have mandatories, you either gave up your title or do your mandatory. And you know what? Props to Canelo. He's doing his mandatory, which gives an opportunity to somebody to fight the biggest fight of his life. And whenever you're in a position like that with nothing to lose and everything to win, guess what? That's when you're in a better chance, because everybody's saying you're not supposed to win. That motivates fighters. And if he loses, nobody expected him to. But if he does come up victorious, I mean, look at that. That becomes hero. That becomes something that's done every 50 years, something special. Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson. Nobody thought he could do it. But, boxing is like that. Nothing's written in stone.
He just seems like appreciative of every single moment, right, Coach?
Of course. The thing is, everybody sees an Avni Yildirim like they saw him in his last fights or whatever. He was with me for a long time. Since Roberto sent him my way, he was with me for a long time. And you know what I like about this kid? That he learns. I mean, you have different fighters with different characteristics, different ways of thinking. This guy, when you teach him something, he gets excited. Like, I didn't know this. Nobody ever told me this. And he learns. He learns a lot. Anything can be possible. I can tell you guys this. My job is to prepare him physically and mentally for the biggest fight of his life. And I just think that he can pull it off, honestly. Because, I mean, Canelo, I give Canelo all the respect. He's a great fighter. He has great angles. He has speed, very good reflex. And, I mean, he's a smart fighter with a lot of power on both hands. But, I mean, I know, and I'm realistic. I know that a decision we will not win. So, we got to do what we can to get it in there. We got to go all in, We got to go all in and looking for that upset. We're not going to go in there and dance around and see if we get a decision at the end of the night. We can't. Just be realistic. So I'm just saying we gotta go in there and try to bully Canelo one way or another and looking for that punch that can hurt him.
And Coach, this is the first time you guys are working together in a fight?
Well, for a fight, yeah.
Okay.
For a fight, yeah.
We actually we're gonna schedule Avni right before COVID. I think it was on the April card. We were gonna do just an 8-rounder. I had spoken to Ahmed, and because he was in Big Bear, training with Coach, it was like, hey, let's just put him in a fight real quick. I think this was even before the title, before Benavidez had lost the title on the scale. He was the mandatory to Benavidez or to the opponent, whoever won that fight, just to keep Avni busy. But then obviously COVID hit, and then when Benavidez was going to fight, the title became vacant, and that's how he became the mandatory. Canelo obviously wins the title in his last fight, and now the mandatory position.
Okay. Let me see, where's that picture I got of you, Coach, when you showed up? There it is. Right there. Immediately, he posted that picture. He said that he wouldn't fight without you. When you saw him, what was that like?
Man, when I saw him, when we met downstairs, and he saw me, I can tell in his face that he was really happy. He was looking for that moment of excitement that he needs somebody to rely on, and that's me. He has a lot of faith in me. When I'm around him, he always says, "Man, Coach, thank you. If it's not you, it's nobody, and I want you. And now I'm a different fighter. I have motivation, and that's my thing, So we put everything together every day on a daily basis. We put work together. We got a plan. He's following it. He's doing really good. We got a good strong kid from Chechnya here for sparring. And I think next week for a day or two, Derevchenko is supposed to be here for sparring. So we got some great work. I mean, things are happening. Things are happening really well. Let me show you just a little bit, okay? What? The things that we see.
Okay. That's just you working mitts with him, little things.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy. And he's a big boy, physically strong. He hits hard with both hands. He's no longer the robot that he was before, when people thought, okay, man, this guy takes punches from every angle.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's a physically strong guy. He hits really hard, and now his defense has improved so much where as much as you try to hit him, you won't find him.
And you're just doing the work with him. That's
basically we're just putting the plan of attack together. That's all we're doing here. I'm getting them ready. I know it's it's a tough fight. It's the biggest fight of his life, and we gotta take advantage one way or another. It's not about just being there and enjoying the moment, enjoying the ride of being part of this event. Is going in there and showing our work. I'm gonna show the people my work, and I'm gonna give the fans what I can do with a fighter. And if it happens, it happens. I mean, every fighter has a chance. A lot of people, they're always saying, well, this guy's another punching bag for Canelo. But I mean, for some reason, the guy is the number one mandatory. And I really appreciate. I appreciate it, and I always say it. Comments are always good. They're good or bad, whatever. But a lot of people don't know fighters until they surprise the world or they surprise you. Nobody knew Manny Pacquiao until he upset it. He was called in a last minute, and
Roberto doesn't want to hear it.
You were gonna say he upset Barrera, but no, you're meaning Leguava a couple fights before.
Yeah. No, his first fight. No, I'm talking about his first fight in the US. Nobody knew who Manny Pacquiao was.
He took a 2-week notice. I believe it was a 2-week notice that Emilio Sanchez got hurt. Enrique Sanchez got hurt, and he took it in and won the world title against Leguava and became a star.
Yeah, I mean, and like I always say, every man has a chance. I mean, if this guy's been boxing, this guy has been boxing all his life. Canelo's a great fighter. Obviously, he's a very superior based on his ability, and he is in the throne for a reason. Canelo is a great fighter, but like I said, Anthony Joshua, was the world, the heavy world champion of the world, and Andy Ruiz comes with a big underdog and knocks him out. Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson. There is always a chance. I always give a man a chance. I was doing an interview yesterday when I was training Bradley. You guys know Bradley's career. Bradley was always the underdog. We went against all odds with Tim Bradley. Against Kendall Holt, you were there. Against Junior Witter, Devin Alexander, you name it. Tim Bradley was always the underdog. For me, this is nothing new. Stepping up in the ring against a favorite fighter is not. To me, I'm gonna do my work, and as long as I do my work properly, have the confidence in myself and have confidence in my fighter, I'm gonna show my work, and we're gonna give the people a good fight.
And that'll be happening in Miami. Tickets went on sale. My man Jim Boone Tickets will have tickets for you. He's not watching, but always love to promote KO Tickets. Good dude out there, Jim Boone, big boxing fan. All right, that was cool. As we're in Turkey with Avni, so you guys plan to be back next week. We'll get going. The Turkish Mafia. I speak in Turkish. I know 2 words. Mahabat, fanatik, and then Teresuk, because of the Turkish basketball player. I tell you, I'm a big deal in Turkey. They love me out there. I would be... No, because my boy... Ace of Boxing knows this. My boy Barbaros is a CNN Turkey reporter, and basketball is huge in Turkey. So I would just go on this show and talk for a minute about what's going on with the Lakers, and then I'd always say one word. I was like, hey, give me one word to say. And I would say it, and then all of a sudden I started getting followers from Turkey. So I got Turkish Mafia people. I know what's up. I just better not say that. I can't believe I called them Turkish Mafia either.
He takes it as a
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, but then the Turkish Mafia is not going to take it as fun. They're going to come out here.
Look, yesterday, and to me, it caught my attention that yesterday we're walking down to the gym, and as we're walking, he's always repeating this. He's like, Coach, thank you so much for being here. Without you, I wouldn't be doing what I want, And then, before we got in the elevator, that's the reason why I wanted to bring him in and say hi, because when he brought Roberto Diaz's name, I said, okay, tomorrow we do it. I'll bring him in, because he goes, hey Coach, I want to speak to Robert Diaz. I said, okay. He goes, I want to speak to Robert Diaz, and I want to give him thank you, because if it wasn't for Robert Diaz, it wouldn't be possible for me to be with you. I want to thank him always. I go, hey, that was pretty good, It just
That's grateful. That's somebody else. I didn't even have anything to do. I don't know. Se le olvida. For him to take the time right now to say thank you, because of you, I met Coach Diaz, and he's been the best thing. That's somebody that's very grateful and that really appreciates Coach. You could hear him. He said he's like my father.
Oh no, he's always hugging me. We put work together, and I tell him, watch. So we go to the gym, and I tell him, hey, today we're gonna work like this. And I watch videos of Canelo, and I go to the gym, and I simulate Canelo and some of the things he does in the ring, and we put it together. And when he finally executes, a lot of things that he does, like, Coach, I love you, man. I love you. It's great. And he gets really pumped up. And he's always hugging me, telling me, you are my father. You are my father. And Junior, you are my brother. I love you, He's a very grateful guy. Very grateful guy. And, we're here to work, and God willing, everything goes well. He's the only fighter in Turkey, and can you imagine this Turkish kid goes to the U.S. and comes back with a victory, beating Canelo Alvarez? That'll be something huge for him. He has a big fan base here in Turkey. Now imagine him, hitting that home run. It will be amazing.
He has a couple of nicknames. The Turkish Wolf and Mr. Robot. So if you go and check him out, he's how old is he? 29 years old. So prime of his career for the Turkish Mafia.
He says he no longer wants to be called a robot, because he's no longer a robot.
Oh, okay. So he's making progress.
The robot was a machine that you told what to do, he would do it, not complain.
Oh.
But also he would fight in the pocket and not move, just trade and right now, just a little clip that Coach showed where he's using the ring and using mid-distance and turning around and up. That wasn't him. Yeah. The dipping and turning him, jabbing. Look, he's learned a lot. And he hasn't. One thing that people have to listen to and remember, it's not like he's been with Coach for 1 month. He was with Coach for a long time during the pandemic, the shutdown, before that, and he's gotten used to Coach, and that's why the connection and the chemistry.
And shout out to Salem Urbina and Sam Contreras, who are watching right now. Fino Boxing. Motor City Matt, everybody jumping on in right now. Motor City Matt wants to know, why are you guys making the fight of Acevedo against James Wilkins? Quick answer, Roberto.
2 Golden Boy fighters. I mean, I saw the question, and you know what? We've been doing that for a long time on every card. January 30th had Quigley against Mosley. February 13th has Ronnie Rios against Oscar Negrete. You know, some of these guys want to fight each other. Some of these guys want to take it to the next level, and that's how they got to show it. It's a very even match. James Wilkins is full of energy. Acevedo's undefeated. 2 young fighters. It teaches. You go up, and if not, you go back to the drawing board and pick up from what you know you need to do after that.
Matt, appreciate you with that question. Marco Favela in Las Vegas. How do you prepare for Canelo's liver punch?
Well, I mean, you have to prepare in every way, not only for the liver punch. Canelo is a great Mexican fighter that, you know, he looks for the body. We just have to execute that punch, you know, work on some good defense, good footwork, and, you know, try to, you know, avoid it. You know, I mean, sometimes it's inevitable in an exchange, but I mean, there's a lot of fighters, even Avni. Avni is a good puncher to the body as well. He has that left hook to the body as well, the liver shot. So, you know, it's part of the game. In an exchange, I can tell you this, and I see the fight, I see a very tough fight, and I see that if Canelo and Avni, they get in the center of the ring and they go at it 100% with a good exchange of punches on both sides, either or can go down because they both have the power, you know. They both got power on their fist, and we're looking for that body shot. You can get caught, or if Canelo lands it, he can hurt Avni. But I'm going to tell you one thing. That's the least of my worries. I have a fighter back in camp, and everybody knows Beck the Bully, right? Last year, at one point, Avni was sparring Beck. And in some of those exchanges, Beck would catch Avni with that shot to the body, clear, without blocking it, in like full force. And I would like, oh shit, I would tell Antonio. And Avni would come to the corner, are you okay? He goes, yeah, coach, I'm good. I mean, Clay Harler, was that the guy?
Clay Collard.
Vegas? Yeah, him. He took it a couple times, but the same way he was Beck was landing it on Collard, he was landing it on Avni. And Avni didn't even flinch. I'm telling you. Avni is a very strong physically fighter. I mean, he could take punches. But now with more defense that we have applied into him, with a lot more work, smart work, he's a different fighter. I'm telling you guys are going to see a different Avni than you guys saw in his previous fights.
No more Mr. Robot. No more Mr. Robot, especially when you go with Coach Diaz. Right now, un saludo a El de las Papas. Papa760 on Instagram. He's drinking a Lagunita's Little Some beer. Tagged us. Appreciate you joining in this right now. This is obviously the most publicity that Avni's going to get from any kind of media, because we are the show of the people that you don't know. You learn about Beck, now you learn about Avni, and you learn.
And you know what, Beto?
One
The
day.
thing is this. In the last couple of days, I've been doing interviews, and for some reason, the times don't play out where everybody wants to have Avni. You're the first one you are the first one. Well, we are the first ones.
Yeah, we.
On the show.
That's right.
We.
It's we.
Yeah, everybody's been, hey, can we get Avni on the show? Can we get Avni on an interview on the Zoom? And there's always something going on with Avni. He's busy. He's over there. He's here. And finally,
because we had Roberto. That's why. You got Roberto, you get whatever you want. Now, Coach, yesterday I was in Coachella, and I didn't know you were gone. On Tuesday night, I texted your son, said, hey, I'm going to Coachella on Wednesday. I'm interviewing Chocolatito at 4. Hook me up. Let's go play some golf in the morning. No problem. And your son ignored me. I'm like, what did I do? Like, Junior's always great about responding. Yeah. He's like, hey, sorry, I just woke up. I'm like, hey, this guy doesn't drink. He doesn't party like that. What's wrong with him? I'm in Turkey. Yeah. in Turkey. I didn't know that you were in Turkey, Coach. I saw the pictures of you posting it on your story. I thought you guys were at Cub Swanson's gym or stuff like that. So I didn't even know you were in Turkey until yesterday. So I go to Coachella. I do the interview for the Zone with Chocolatito. Great guy. First time ever meeting him. I go to Coachella Boys and Girls Club, Lee Espinoza. I walk in the door, and my goodness, if it's not a trip down memory lane.
Yep.
It's pretty
All the
cool.
pictures.
Yeah, it's the first time I was ever there. Marcos Caballero showed me around, met Chocolatito. Before we did the interview and everything else, it's going to be pretty cool what DAZN is doing. It's all called Off the Cuff. They're doing a lot of stuff that's black and white. It's really cool. But I go and I see it, and what is this? It's the Toño. It's the Toño appreciation wall.
That's a half of Antonio.
Yeah, it's
a quarter.
It's everything. I'm looking. I'm like, okay, are there other fighters besides Toño in the Valley? Because all I see is Toño this, Toño that, Toño this, Toño that. I'm like, okay, great. That's cool. Okay, cool for Toño. That's nice. I know he did a big deal. Then the return of the champion, Toño Diaz. Like, okay. It's like people probably don't even know that in that gym that there's other Diaz's because it's all Toño in that gym. You know, like reason I took a picture of this, it says return of the champion, but it's also Winky Wright and Robert Frazier, and it's like, no, but Toño's gonna come back, everybody. He's not even the main event, he's a special attraction, and he's the top guy. So I love Toño, great guy, consider him a good friend, we talk, but my goodness, I didn't know Toño had like this like shrine to him.
I'm telling you, when I put Toño in his farewell fight at Fantasy Springs, there was standing room only. People were outside wanting to buy tickets. I think there was a couple fist fights out there because they wanted to get in. And at the time, it had been the biggest attendance we've ever had.
No way.
And there was, I'm telling people standing. And I'll tell you, I give credit. I mean, I won't take all the credit. Toño wanted to come back. He kept telling me. But Joel told me, Roberto, if you put Toño here, you're not going to have enough seats. And I said, come on, that was 15 years ago, not today. I exaggerated a little bit. That was, in the past, not today. People are going to, Roberto, give him a shot. He's going to sell this place up. I said, like that? Yes. Okay, let's do it. And sure enough, he sold the place out. The people still wanted to buy tickets, and there was no more room.
That was cool, and it's I had to take the pictures. I even texted Toño.
It was pizza show. That was the time when Coach Joel gave some pizzas to the other guy to not come out.
Hey, those pizzas are good. You don't want to wait in line. You don't want to wait in line. And I saw this one of Toño with fighting against Shane Mosley, and you see it. Dan Rayfield wrote the story for USA Today. And it was pretty cool. It was really cool to see what the Lee Espinoza Coachella Boxing Club looks like because there's so many cool banners, the history of it, and then you see the stories. And I even sent this one to Bill Plunkett. Bill Plunkett, a friend of mine who now covers the Dodgers for the OC Register, and it's Coach Joel getting ready for your fight in South Africa. Yeah. And that was pretty cool just to see that and to read the story. I even texted Bill. I'm like, dude, you remember this? He's like, of course. He goes, I was the fifth Diaz brother because Bill Plunkett was writing for the Desert. He was writing for the Desert Sun, and he's like, I would write about these young brothers that were going fighting. He goes, great group of guys. Send hello to them. I wish them the best. And there's a picture of Toño. Of course, there's always a picture of Toño. So every story I saw about you, Coach, Toño somehow got into it. And the story goes, Joel Diaz is fighting for the world title in South Africa. But Toño is there as his sparring partner. Like that's what the story is. That's why I love Toño. He's like the Forrest Gump of boxing because he's everywhere. He's always somewhere.
Forrest Gump.
And I love that. I love that. But it was really cool to see all that stuff. Sam Contreras, I texted you. I told you I was there, and you even told me because young Sammy's out there with Chocolatito training. Yeah, so I was out there. It was pretty cool. I just wanted to take those pictures for the ThursDIAZ fans. So if you're listening to the podcast, go back and listen.
before you would see a picture of me and there was Antonio on the side or on the back. Now I take pictures without Antonio and you Photoshop him.
He's like Bernie Sanders. He puts himself in. That's exactly it. But it was really cool to see that, and respect to you. And we mess with Tonyo a lot, but we love him. We respect to what he did in his career and the fact up there. And you also have stories about Julio, and just it was pretty cool. It's like going back in time to see that gym. And Marco was telling me how it started off small and kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's really cool just to see the people that have gone. There's pictures of young Bernard Hopkins and young Oscar and everything else. And that's why I love boxing, when you walk into those old school gyms and it feels like you go back to another time. And I know that's going to happen with your new building, coach, because Beto Visión was taking the tour of the Coachella Valley. And I was out there. I went and looked. I told Tonyo, you're going to take me to get some food, right? You're going to go, right? He's like, well, I got to train the kids. I'm here. I went into the building. I went in, coach. I was there yesterday. I saw what it's been like, what you've been talking about. It is.
We got Golden Boy on it.
Yeah. So I saw the building. I know what it looks like. That's the background. Those ropes right there were literally where kids were sparring. And where'd it go? It was really cool. Coach, you've talked about it, but my goodness, that gym is huge. That building, should I say, is huge. It's Donio gave me the tour of what's going on, and the kids are in there working hard. But coach, you are going to have a world-class facility from the size of it, of what you can do. And I congratulate you, and my goodness, is it even harder than I expected what you're doing. Yeah, they have the kids sparring in there. And the reason I bring this up is you're talking about doing the work, coach. You really did have to go and scrape everything off. Roberto, the outside wall, there's no plaster out there. Like it's just wood, and then there's pilas of basura everywhere because they've just been working and working and working. Antonio was showing me the layout that you guys have. You're going to have the sauna. You're going to have the workout room. You're going to have artificial turf. It's going to be a first-class facility, coach. So congratulations to you. And I know it's not even close to being done. I was impressed with just the way it's set up. Antonio was telling me how bad it is. And you talked about the neighborhood. Coach, you didn't tell me that there's 8 different motels on that street right there.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's right off of Indio Boulevard.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough area.
It's tough, but we're tougher, and that's the thing. Now they know us. Like for example, yesterday they called me from the water department. Hey, well, you need this, you need that. So I called a friend. I said, dude, I'm away from home. I'm out of the country. He goes, I got you. He says, I'm gonna put it on there, but I don't know if they'll steal it. I go, they won't steal it. I go, everybody knows me now. I go, everybody knows me already. They already know I'm there. Every time I pull up, even transients, I pull up in the morning, at night. I'm driving on Indio Boulevard. I pull over and I pull. Hey, coach, how you doing? How's everything going? They have not touched or tried to vandalize that place since they know that I'm there.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, right now I'm pushing it. I got people working there every day.
Yep.
Yesterday, I said, people working yesterday, the day before. Things are moving along, and hopefully we'll get it done by the end of March. I got everything already. Right now, it's like I said, a little things that we have going through the city, but the contractor's been on it every day.
Yeah, and and right now, I know Tonio's watching, but shout out to those little kids that you guys have in the program that are going in there.
Those punching bags. So you guys know what we did. I mean, as you can see, we were training the kids at night at the ranch, right? All these kids need activity. There's no gyms that are open, and we were training them at the ranch, but it was cold at night. So when they did all that right at the building, one day I pulled up in there, and I went in there and I cleaned it up really good. I moved a lot of equipment to the sides, and I told Antonio, we need to keep training these kids, man, because they're home, they're not doing anything. I mean, let's go. I mean, at least a couple hours, 3 days a week. So we pulled up, and we had some of the parents come in and, I got lights, I got this. Yeah. I told Antonio, let's start. let's bring the kids in here. Eventually, we're gonna figure it out, little by little. and there's a guy, his name is Mike Delara. He does concrete. He comes up and he goes, "Hey, coach, I will go buy the hooks." Comes, and him and another guy that works for the water district, Renato, they put the clips on, and then we got punching bags.
Yeah.
And one day we got our temporary lights, and then Bobby Lee, Brandon Lee's father, he's an electrician. He goes, "Hey, Joel, I can do some lights right there for you temporarily." He pulls up one day and puts those lights in there. And every day it's been getting better just to accommodate the kids so they can train at least 3 days a week. I mean, we're just doing it for the kids. The reason we got the setup there for now is a temporary setup just for the kids to get some activity, and they're happy. They're happy. They get really happy because they're training.
That's really
and it
cool.
Gets them out of the cold. It gets them out of the cold.
Yeah. I mean, we got walls and we got a roof. I mean, they get in there, we close the doors, and they train.
Yeah. You know what, Coach, what I was upset about, kind of sad too, because I see this, I walk into this gym, and, every Thursday we do ThursDIAZ since April, and Tonio talks about how he has all these fans, and they demand him, they want him. So I'm thinking, I'm going to walk into this gym, and he's told us that he has to leave, and all the parents are asking about ThursDIAZ, right? Oh, put me on, all these parents. So I'm thinking, I'm going to walk into this gym, and all the parents are going to mob me. I'm thinking they're going to want pictures with me, so I put the 3 flowers on. I was good. I put the mat. I went in there. Ni me pelaron. Nobody even paid attention to me. So I'm thinking, the host, the guy who helped start ThursDIAZ, the one who puts the podcast up.
Antonio only has one fan, and that's Alan Zamora. And he's a papas guy, too, because he sells papas.
Yeah. So
he's promoting himself.
I drove home in the wind yesterday, really sad, because I thought people that were friends with Tonio would recognize me and say, "Hey, Beto, thank you for the show. Thanks for what you do for us, for helping us." But I guess Tonio really lied to us, Coach. He really did.
When I get
the 3 flowers?
I was here, and because I my hair was looking good, I couldn't leave, and Tonio didn't want to leave to go to El Capitan for Las Cucarachas. So I went to Mexicali Cafe right up the street, and had dinner by myself, Coach. Yeah, thanks, Tonio.
Wow. I'll make it up to you when I get back. Right now, guys, I'm very sorry. I'm happy to be here with you guys. I gotta take Avni to breakfast.
Yeah, we gotta go too. We appreciate it.
But thank you very much, guys.
Best, Coach.
For me. Roberto, ya sabes, un abrazo siempre.
Igualmente, un abrazo. Dios te bendiga ya.
Yeah, we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you next week, Coach. We appreciate you jumping in from Turkey, where it's 8 in the morning. So there it is.
It's actually 9 now.
Oh, it's 9 o'clock now? Oh, okay. There it is. So appreciate you, Coach, jumping in.
I need breakfast and stuff, but thank you guys very much. I'm happy to be part of it as always. It's always good to see you guys. Thank you guys for your guys' support and motivation. Ya saben, se les aprecia un chingo. Nos vemos a todos los fans. Everybody's watching. We're here working, and we're looking forward to February 27th. Give the fans a good fight, something exciting, and I'm gonna do everything from my part. We're in the entertaining business, we gotta entertain you guys. So we're here. Thank you guys. God bless you all. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Hang it up, and then we'll be good. Where are you at? There you go, Bobby. That was good. We're still on the show right now, Robert. I haven't hung up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't say anything. Don't say anything bad about Tonio yet. You know what? I'm gonna ask you this right here. We're gonna take a couple questions. Gonzalo Torres. Is there any bad blood with Canelo?
Not at all. In fact, I spoke to him a few weeks ago over the phone. My wife works for him directly, so I'll be seeing him in Miami. I have a fight on the undercard. We're going for the world title, McWilliams Arroyo against Julio Cesar Martinez, Mexico against Puerto Rico. So, yeah, look, it's part of boxing. It happens hasta, como dicen en México, en español, hasta en las mejores familias. There's separations, there's breakups. It's just part of the game, and we move on. And as far as Golden Boy, we continue doing what we've always done, and that's to build champions and build stars. And look, I'm very excited. In the next couple months, we have 2 fighters from our stable fighting for world titles, and that's Marlene Esparza and Cenicia Estrada fighting for a new world title. So, that's what we continue doing, getting them in line to fight for world titles, and then it's obviously them doing their stuff in the ring. We wish Canelo all the best. and we'll continue to wish him all the best. You know what? You never know in boxing. It's a small circle. Hoy allá, mañana acá.
It's funny because everybody wants to make, oh, you're not going to do this, you're going to do that. It's like, look, it's the business side. And if you're going to be in the business, you got to realize eventually you're going to cross paths again. Look, Oscar used to fight for Top Rank. Oscar broke up with Top Rank. And Oscar had lunch with Top Rank today. It all goes.
Exactly. It's a whole circle. Look, I mean, many fighters. Miguel Cotto retired at Golden Boy after many years at Top Rank and going through Rock Nation. And Eric Morales retired at Golden Boy. And Barrera, went to Golden Boy and Top Rank and Don King. So it happens in boxing. It happens.
It happens everywhere. As Jose Mota, Angel Broadcaster, told me when I got in this business, he said, you're going to see a lot of things. Don't ever take anything personal because you're going to need those people later anyways. So eventually, especially in boxing, you got to have some fighters. And I know you got some people at weight divisions that Canelo might want to fight soon.
Exactly.
In Tijuana.
Exactly.
In Tijuana. All right, Roberto, we will be seeing you next week. As always, appreciate you for coming on the show. Thanks for answering the questions about the matchmaking. And I'll send you that story from the Athletic. It was really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And it was good. So if you guys go and check it out, always rate, review, subscribe, and let people know what's going on with ThursDIAZ. We'll see you. You never know what might happen on ThursDIAZ. You might be at Chapo's. I mean, not Chapo's house. Look, we might end up in Chapo's tunnel. You never know.
You never know where we might come out of one day.
And we do know that I am making effort. Jessica Rosales is going to join the show. She's agreed to come on for a segment and talk with us. But wow. She's upset that she has to put on her makeup to do it. But she's going to do it because we want to talk that La Llaverita has to come on the show. So we put it out there.
Llaveritos time.
Good night, everybody. We appreciate you. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.